So, y'all might remember how I said that Elden Ring won't ever get a release date. Today is one of those days where I will happily eat my own words because it is finally time. January 21st, 2022, Elden Ring has a release date. And we are slowly, but surely, getting to this date with every minute, with every hour, and with every day. The Souls drought is coming to an end, at least fingers crossed, right? But between now and then, what are we going to do with our spare time? What games will we be playing, if any at all? I don't know about you, but I'm gonna keep on invading. Invading is a unique mechanic and a personal favorite of mine. Say, if you're on the receiving end, it keeps you on your toes, or they ought to. If you're the one invading, it's like opening a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Not every invasion is exciting, nor worth the hassle, but they always leave me wondering if I could top the last great experience I had with something I've never seen before. Frankly, chasing that high is what it's been like for 5.5 years now. It's not an addiction, I swear. The proverbial well's been feeling a bit bone dry after all this wait. So I say, in preparation for what's to come, let's get back to it. Let's invade today. Unfortunately for you, though, I'm not going to be invading Lothric, or Drangleic, or Lordran, or Boletaria, or even Yharnam. No. Today, we're going to invade San Francisco. This is Watch Dogs 2, an open-world action-adventure game made by Ubisoft. It's about 20-something-year-old hackers who use their phones, maybe some explosives, and a whole lot of memes in order to stick it to big tech companies and the government, both of whom have been spying on their consumers and citizens respectively. Sounds familiar, huh? There's facial recognition that they can use that can map an individual's movements and routines, even algorithms that determine habits and a supposed likelihood for dangerous behavior. The concept of privacy is at risk of being impeded upon by these large entities for the profits of corporations and or national security, and thus these young somethings are coming up trying to undo that, or at least bring awareness to that for the populace. But this video ain't about the narrative. This video is about how if a host disconnects on you when you're just about to win an invasion, you still get rewards for the progress you were able to complete. This video is about hiding right under the noses of two co-opers and putting the fear of God in them. This video is about how you can send a player's personal vehicle careening into a gas pump as you watch the soul leave their body in despair as it burns. This video is about how you can get a player to look like a rag doll out of a modern Family Guy episode and actually be funny. This video is about how you can invade Vati himself. This video is about how Ubisoft, of all the game devs, somehow made a more competent and seamless invasion system than From Software ever has been able to. Okay, now that I have your attention, let me be clear, because nuance tends to be the bane of arguments on the internet. I don't actually believe what I just said. I don't actually believe that Ubisoft made an online system that feels more organic and well thought out than even the most recent SoulsBorne titles. No, seriously. I'm not saying that Watch Dogs 2 is the Dark Souls of open world games. Elden Ring is going to be the Dark Souls of open world games. I mean, I hope so. I'm hoping Elden Ring is just big Dark Souls. That sounds amazing. Doesn't it sound amazing to you? Watch Dogs 2 is not big Dark Souls, okay? Okay, one more time for the people in the back. However I describe Watch Dogs 2 today, whatever this game has accomplished, it doesn't override nor surpass what any of the Souls games have done. These are two completely different franchises with wildly different designs and themes. One of the few similarities tying them together, though, being this gosh darn invasion mechanic. But you see, I don't like Watch Dogs 2 because it has invasions. I like Watch Dogs 2 because I find it to be a fun and enjoyable game that just so happens to have invasions as well. And what, pray tell, is enjoyable about this game? Well, it's all in the hacking. Actually, let's not call it hacking. There are several in-game reasons why your phone is able to open password-locked doors, turn on and move cars, cause blackouts, and explode steam pipes under street corners. But we're not going to talk about those reasons. That's for the lore nerds. How does the saying go? Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So let's call hacking in this game what it really is. Technomancy. You are a technomancer, and throughout the game, you gradually build up stronger and stronger technomagic, like using drones to drop remote detonated bombs on some nerds, or being able to call the police on a Bible study guide, who shoot first and ask questions never, or using a moped to run over a host who didn't know any better. And if all else fails, there's the most simple kind of technomancy that anybody can understand: a bullet. For now, though, let's actually get into the game itself, and I'll show you why this is probably going to be my favorite game to invade in until Elden Ring. Also, if you happen to see a Watch Dogs 2 watermark in the top right of the screen, that is thanks to the game itself whenever you record it using PlayStation Share and not a capture card. I do have a slight remedy for this, though. There we go. So, first of all, let me describe the online activities of Watch Dogs 2. When you are in the open world, that means you're not in a single-player mission, you're not in a race, you're not in anything that puts you into a loading screen before doing that activity. If you are in the open world, you can do a variety of online activities. Most of them are self-explanatory. You can directly search for co-op with either one extra player, or create a group of 4 players at once. Then, once you're together, the entirety of the Bay Area is your oyster. You can go on co-op operations together. You can join organized team fights with other groups through the Showdown playlist. You can race each other, or just create mayhem anywhere and everywhere. Below these two options, there's Bounty Hunt, which is effectively the blade of the Darkmoon invasions from Dark Souls 1. I'm sure some of y'all might like the sound of that. In summary, if a player has acquired a level 3 wanted level with the police in this game, they have a chance to be hunted by you. You can join their world while they're being chased by the police to be a third-party spirit of vengeance, whose main goal is to put the criminal down by whatever means necessary. So long as you don't get killed too many times or the bounty escapes in the chaos. The police can also get mad at you, so be careful where you shoot. Bounty Hunt mainly consists of high-speed chases. The most fun comes from utilizing all of your available technomancy skills to nab your target. That is, if you have any know-how to use the skills. The bounty can choose to hold out somewhere, in which case they're most likely doomed. The game has a surprising arsenal of weapon choices, probably more than it should have, but the best nerds that come out on top use their hack tomfoolery first in order to line up the perfect shot. Bounty Hunt does have a unique feature, though, where if you queue up to find somebody who has a bounty and there isn't anybody, what will happen is that an alternative game mode will be created in its place. This is the armored truck activity. Multiple bounty hunters will instead have to track down and steal this package from an armored truck. They will be fighting each other for control over this data as 2 phases of the game mode begins. The first phase is taking this red box and effectively holding on to it for X amount of time while you're being chased by both police and players alike. The moment that you crack the data is when the second phase begins. Second phase is simply escape. Escape the police by breaking line of sight or escaping their range, and doing the same with players as well. Either you escape them or you just straight up kill them. One of the two. Choosing Bounty Hunt gets you into 2 of these modes, which is pretty neat. That way you're always doing something, you're always fighting against players. It may not be exactly what you want, but at least it has something for you, unlike what happens in Souls games when no one's there. Moving on from Bounty Hunt though, there's the actual hacking invasions. This is where the invasions of Watch Dogs 2 run perpendicular to SoulsBorne invasions. In Souls games, your main goal is typically to destroy your invasion target. However, as an invader in this game, you're not supposed to do that. What happens when you invade someone's world is that you're supposed to, quote unquote, hack and steal their data without killing them. Once you initiate the hack, you have to hide, either literally or incognito, as the download continues. Where you hide or how you mask your presence is down to your positioning, your wit, and a careful use of your tech skills along the way. Ultimately, there are 4 possible ends for an invasion like this. 1, you can get profiled and die like the nerd you are. 2, you can get profiled and have to muster an escape. 3, you can successfully download the data and then BM the host by taking a selfie with them. Or 4, the host disconnects, in which case the invader is rewarded with the progress that they were able to download. Pretty neat feature, huh? What's neat about all of these 4 outcomes is that you will still, as an invader, get a reward. Even the host will get a reward, provided that they don't disconnect. If they lose, they get a reward. If you manage to escape and they can't kill you, they get a reward. No matter what, if you are participating in the online activities of this game, you are going to get something out of it. However, let's back up a little bit. When all is said and done, invasions in this game are glorified instances of hide and seek. But you see, the essence of this game is using your abilities, is outwitting whoever you come across with map knowledge, drone and camera intel, and a clever use of technomancy mumbo jumbo, and maybe hiding in a gay bar or 2. The gameplay has these nuanced moments of tense stealth and moment-by-moment tactics, like shooting out each other's drones with a silencer, or distracting each other through car mayhem before potentially being let out on a huge chase scene, smashing through trees, going through sideways, or even going onto the sea itself, where one hack could decide the difference between a smooth getaway and being riddled with bullets like in The Godfather. But here's a question. Why would folks want to invade or even be invaded besides the potential fun factor? In the older Souls games, you were rewarded with resources that aided your single-player progress. Demon Souls has you revive back in your human form. Dark Souls 1 gives you humanity or upgrade materials from covenants. Bloodborne gives you insight, which is actually currency in disguise. And invasions in most of these games give you souls, which are used to level up your character or as currency for items and consumables. In a similar way, winning and losing invasions as a host or invader in Watch Dogs 2 gives you followers, money, and leaderboard points. Followers in this game are experience points. Followers give you more levels. These levels give you access to more skills and abilities, which give you more options, more opportunities to pull ahead in online activities and the offline story missions. Money is money. In this game, money gives you guns, vehicles, short shorts, and leather jackets. Everything that a hipster anarchist and a bleeding heart libertarian could ever want. Leaderboard points are similar to arena medals from Dark Souls 3. The higher in rank you are, the shinier the medal. They don't necessarily prove you're good or skilled at the game. They just show other nerds that you are the bigger nerd who plays these games an excessive amount. Quick tangent. Let's actually talk about the skills you unlock from leveling up in this game and the build potential. There is no build potential. A lot of the fun that I derive from SoulsBorne games is in the build crafting. You might too. The diversity in stats and tools at your disposal can drastically change how you approach these games, and there's a lot one can enjoy from this dynamic alone when it comes to SoulsBorne. Watch Dogs 2, on the other hand, is not an RPG Build-A-Bear workshop. You can get a plethora of fashion for the protagonist, but you can't make your own character. While there are choices in skills at first, you will ultimately be getting everything as you reach max level. Technically speaking, if everyone's max level in Watch Dogs 2, then that means everyone is on as equal a footing as possible. The difference being in SoulsBorne, if everyone's max level, everyone's gonna look like Havel. Everyone's gonna throw Chaos Bed Vestiges. Everyone is gonna have Tears of Denial. The same can't be said here. How the players strategize and utilize their skills and choose their weaponry, of which you can only have 2 guns at a time, marks the difference between a novice nerd and a full-blown hacker slug. For now, let's get back on topic. Let's talk about how you can customize your online preferences in this game, something you can't really do in Souls games at all. Straight from the get-go, you can decide how much of the online you want to experience. Do you want none of it? Do you want some of it? In this game, you can pick and choose at your leisure. Whereas in SoulsBorne, you either get all of it or you get none of it. Here, you can do things like choose to have co-op and no invasions, for example, or choose to have bounty hunts and no co-op. You know, I'm actually a fan of this design, giving players the ability to turn off what they want at free will, and more specifically, turn off invasions, might in fact be more of a benefit for invaders or people who want a specific activity as a whole. There's something I like to call false positives in Souls invasions, where you get to invade someone, go through a loading screen, but the moment you find them or even spawn into their world, they disconnect. That's a false positive. Keep in mind, this is different from folks who disconnect when they're in the middle of losing. Watch Dogs 2 already has an answer for that. On paper, I would think that players who might disconnect at first glance would decrease if they were told that they didn't have to disconnect at all. Just flip this dang switch already and you'll be fine. It probably wouldn't take care of all the disconnectors though. Some people are illiterate or they forget a mechanic as soon as it's introduced to them. Believe me, I'm one of them. And I'm only speaking from anecdotal evidence, but the amount of DCers I've seen, or the lack thereof in this game, has been quite low so far. Still noticeable, but a lot lower than, say, the Demon's Souls remake, or Dark Souls 1, or Dark Souls 2, or Bloodborne, or just any Souls game. Oh god, why? I would prefer if a feature like this gets incorporated into future FromSoft games that have invasions, but, you know, that's just me. I personally think it would save more folks from having headaches than the current norm, but we'll see. Moving on, both Souls games and Watch Dogs claim to have a seamless online experience. Some of their game mechanics and intentions even mirror each other. One really cool fact, though, about the seamless online of Watch Dogs 2 is how it really is seamless. In the span of 10 minutes, I went from finishing up a single-player mission to jumping right into an invasion to meeting a random friendly player who didn't accept my co-op invites, but regardless, all of these activities happened without any additional loading screens. However Ubisoft coded the tech behind the matchmaking of the random free roam, I don't know, but the important part is that it works. It's great. It's like having a fresh playthrough of any of the Souls games, but it's on a grander scale. Oh my god. I just called it Big Dark Souls.
get good.
Fuck. Anyways, the invasion mechanic in this game finds players in seconds, no matter where they are in the open world. It's like the Wex dust of San Francisco, if you will. Now, I don't necessarily have a complete understanding of how it finds other players. Sometimes you get no loading screen at all, and the invadee just appears on your screen. Other times, it does put you through a very brief load screen as it fast travels you to their part of the world, etc., etc. At the very least, you find folks and you find them quickly in this game. I have played Watch Dogs 2 for a couple of hours at a time and have only invaded, and for those play sessions, I was able to find someone consistently, despite this game coming out in 2016. Do you know what else came out in 2016? Dark Souls 3. That's right. I'm able to find more activity in this game. Whack. Oh, and here's another cool tidbit. You can directly invade your friends if they're online and playing. You can do this in Watch Dogs 1 and 2. Add on to the fact that Legion, the most recent Watch Dogs entry, is getting invasions in August if Ubisoft's roadmap is to be believed. It may very well have a similar feature. Now, ain't that nice? Use this knowledge at your own discretion. Watch Dogs 2 is a great instance where a game dev made a game that has invasions, but it wasn't made by Mama FromSoft and Papa Zaki. Believe me, this is Ubisoft we're talking about, but Ubisoft is entitled to at least make one banger after every 5 or 6 projects. And Watch Dogs 2 is a genuinely fun game with engaging mechanics, smooth online interconnectivity, a diverse setting and open world, and with an intriguing enough narrative to wrap it all together in a nice little bow. I can only hope and pray that Elden Ring is as complete of a game. Please, oh God, I'm on my knees, please! And I'm gonna stop talking now. If any of this has interested any of y'all watching, and you want to see some of these dog watcher invasions under closer inspection, I can see about making a few commentary videos. I would be more than happy to, in fact. If you were wondering if I was going to make more Souls content, don't worry. For those of you out there, I do have Souls plans of several different varieties. I actually have a goal for myself. I want to make at least 3, count them, 3 videos between now and before Elden Ring comes out. And if I go over that limit, I would have considered that brownie points. I'm gonna be really excited if I can turn all my hyper fixations onto making those videos. But if it happens, it happens. I cannot guarantee nor promise it. Please be patient with me, trying to get my head in the game. Anyways, if you've made it this far into the video, I would like to thank you for watching. If I've earned a like and maybe a sub from you, I appreciate your support. Thank you. And if you don't mind me saying this, but if you made it to today, you can make it to tomorrow. We're not friends, but I hope anything I've said or anything I've created has made your day even slightly better. So until next time, take care of yourselves out there, y'all. Tell somebody you love them. You don't know what tomorrow will bring. And peace.